Good evening. Uh, went through Archon last time, so going on with the experiment, I'm guessing I'll manage to get about to the compound, I'm guessing. I know those two were bad. Okay, experiment. Funky looking map. ADA status halted. Operator required. Home. We have returned home. Runway acquired and integrated. Experimental weapons may prove useful. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. I think I might cry. Our aggressive friend has a home. But of course, everyone does. Whatever strange place you might find yourself in, someone else calls it home. Go in peace, traveler. I'm not sure that is actually correct. Strange wonders on this world. Existing runway was not taken by Creeper. Device to make urns. Technology thought unthink. I adapt the bomber technology from the time of before to the time of now. Use with runway. The founders surely guide our path. Praise be the founders. Thanks, Preach. Bombers? Didn't know you had it in you. Okay. Over here. This place is obviously manufactured, like with the runway. This perfect straight mine placement, which I'm just gonna do right at the start. Okay, it's not quite perfect, but close enough. And then, after I've done those, I'm just gonna turn all of them off. Now, we have the air tab. Air contains the runway, and for now the bomber. Unlike the previous games, you don't just place the bomber somewhere, wherever you want, and then say, okay, go for it. No, you have to place it next to the runway. Now the runway costs 200 energy, and a bomber 100, so that's a lot of energy you have to spend. Otherwise, this planet gives us our first air unit. And in case you may have seen me play with Yushlanda various challenge maps in trying multiplayer, we used quite a lot of air because it's easy to use and relatively low risk as soon as you have your energy set up. I do not know whether I want to use it all that much here. So make a mind of this. This, and I think I can start here. This is a building that is completely unique to this map, the Urn Maker. And as soon as you supply it with ARG, as seen by this red thing, it will produce urns regularly. I do not know, like it needs 200 ammo, that takes quite a while. But otherwise, a very useful device that. Now, looking at the map, we have a few entrances to our little island. And we need a tower over here to cover those two guns. And we have a few elevated spots for example, mortars. We have emitters, spore launchers, a blob nest, but only one, and another spore launcher there. So, I think 2 snipers should be enough, since this is the only place that the blobs will come from. But we will need a few missiles, and I'll place those up here. Reason being, their bubble is higher, meaning they can shoot at the enemy's spores faster, and they'll have greater overall coverage, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if you are done in time. Let's make sure that you are done in time. You cannot shoot down there. They were in fact not done in time. Okay, well, replace it with this one. Those two are done. Get you here. Get you there. Put towers here and there. Get you there. Get another gun here and one here. Then another one here. You can take care of this place. Problem being with the guns being up there that they do not reach everything, as you can see here. The yellow spots are the fields they can shoot. So I'd rather put them forward so they can actually shoot. Okay, everything is built. Then we will slowly reactivate the miners, not to overshoot our energy. I should probably learn what the buttons for those are again. Right, that was destroy. That was destroy again. Entering edit mode. No, I didn't even know there was a possibility. I'm just clicking here. Right, I forgot we still have this energy. I didn't even think of that. In which case, build me a factory, and I should have done way earlier. And then get me set up with bombers. Bombers need to be directly next to the airfield, but not in the corners. You can technically build one like here, but I don't think it allows you to build one this way, which would be necessary in the same way. So I'm basically always only just going for symmetry. We have an item here. One, two spores, which show 2 each. This should easily be doable by the missile launchers. The blobs easily dispatched by the snipers. And now we basically wait until the bombers are done. Create squad. And then you have multiple possibilities. You can just put a point, which is the best option for this specific map, I'm pretty sure. And then we will create our leapfrog towers. Now the bombers themselves need energy as well, 80, as you can see here. But they only need energy. So they don't take any special ammunition. And then, I forgot you and you. Create squad, select squad. Squad, all of you shoot here, they auto launch, and you can order them to return to base. And you can also put urns in them, I didn't even know that. In which case, all of you now want an urn. And they also have to leave through the runway, which means that they do not leave at the same time. And I do not know which of those airplanes is my urn plane. I should probably set one for energy collection. Okay. I'd have to disable the urn, so I'm just gonna leave it. Now, like in Creeper World 3, the airfield is actually supplied with energy while those things are out, so that they can launch faster again. And then I can just move my towers forward, make a connection, a very specific connection in this case, and then just put the nullifier there. all of the energy down here. Unfortunately, this ledge is exactly high enough that you do not get energy from towers on low ground. Okay. Select squad. This area is only a launcher, so I'm just gonna have a flyby. This is, by the way, the second option. You can set those to do like a strafing run. The guns. Did one of my guns died? Okay. I have enough guns, I guess. So now I can move the guns this way. And since down here there's nothing that produces creeper by itself, only the creeper that's already there, and I will now move them to here to take out this emitter instead. I should probably go here relatively soon as well, because that's where the greener is, for the totems to save a bit of time. You two will just clear over there. As mentioned, as there's nothing to produce creep back here, it's not really all that much of an issue. Barely not enough. Now, you will fly here, create the tower line. Then we have another artifact on this side as well. We can just unearth. Data analyzer initiated. Analysis of data record follows. Chronodating indicates an age of over 300 standard Earth years. Plain text record follows. Data log. Hierarchy subordinate 42. 94,632 ticks. The hierarchy has conducted a new review of the ancient texts recovered from the precursors. It is now clear the precursors had knowledge of the creeper prior to its arrival in their time. This knowledge was passed down to them from early galactic civilizations. They demonstrated prior knowledge based on prophets they claim originated from the first generation of humanity. These prophets came from the supposed ancestral origin world of humans. They left their imprint on numerous civilizations in their travels, which were apparently motivated by a desire to recover a lost comrade. I do not see how this affects our current work. We face annihilation and our researchers provide fairy tales for ammunition. We shall continue our current work to identify any weakness possible in the creeper. I know. I think I'm beginning to understand where or when I am. Right. Move you here. Get the tower set back up. And then we put another fire here. This nullifier is being loaded this moment, and it is now done. Good, that means that now we will select the squad and clear this area. Apparently one spore came over here, for unknown reasons. has the same problem as Creeper World 3, however, that you can just, by accident, click on one plane that's just flying by and select it that way. Okay, as soon as those are there, I can take my squad, put it over here, and now I have Greener. All of my turrets died, wonderful. I thought that they would be strong enough. Also, this died. How did this die? Okay. Planes, I'm gonna need you back over here. This launcher is done, so I can move around these towers. Okay, this one didn't die, fortunately. Get me a new nullifier. Apparently this was never active. I was pretty sure I set that in the right location there. You go... Not the plane, the missile launcher. So the planes can be quite a bit of a pain to deal with. Sometimes they get in the way. Okay, then, as that is cleared again, I will move over here. And these guns will also come over here. Also, most of my bombers have urns now. I don't even... This one is still weird to me, because this is the only planet that has one. I don't exactly know why, it's never really explained anymore. And I don't even really see it in custom games all that much. Custom games, custom maps. No, those are just pools of creeper, not irrelevant. This is the last emitter, and he's also after a blob nest. Oh, that's how that shit died. The blobs. Get me that sniper here. And you will stay here, and then I'm just gonna build another one there. That should cover all directions. Okay, you're done. Now, ships, you will come here, take out that emitter, and you guns will assist in that matter. You come over here, as well as you, because these should basically catch all of the spores this thing shoots. All of them. Yep, and it was all of them. Right, you are too close. I got both totems, so I could rift jump, but you always nullify everything. Nullifier should be ready for you soon. And then this is the only place where still creeper is being emitted. I do not really care about those basins, I only want to nullify this and those two. Therefore, you will now be selected and take out this emitter. There's still quite a lot of... Wait, you did not reach this. How? How did you not reach there? And my runway died. Wonderful. I'm just gonna yeet then. Everything and all of the guns get urns. And you also get urns. Okay. Guns over here. You also get an urn because why not? I still have some. Also, there's always that one guy that just suicide charges into the creep. That one gun. So you go back to be resupplied. And we put a nullifier there. You can, by the way, earn your mines, which increases their production. I've never really found all that much of a use for that. But you can, if you so want, if you are so inclined. Also, guns get reloaded while flying by, which is very useful. One tower dead, nothing else. And now we re-arrived at the small problem of the urns of the packets being too slow to reach the front line in time. So yeah, this would probably have been faster at the end here if I just rebuilt the runway, but whatever. So this is possibly the perfect map for pylons. All of the runways are exactly too wide enough for a pylon to fit. The third one went into the creep, of course it did. As you can see, with a pylon, we are suddenly fast enough again. And as soon as that fires, the mission is done. Okay, next, somewhere in space-time. What if remembering the past changed it? Mother remain away. Attempt sacrifice subsystem to help Mother. Integrating AIDA subroutine. Error. Require complete ceremonial archive. Alas, incomplete MIs yet. Must complete before Mother can restore. Praise be the founders. I have never had this grid. Huh. Skimmers sighted. Threat minimal. Annoyance level notable. Defend against stunning of skimmers with snipers. Mission priority nullification. All other priorities suspended. Skimmers now? What's next? Better not ask. Skimmers are a weird one. Like eggs, they basically skim along the creep, and I find them to be erratic in their movement. If they come too close to your stuff, they will stun it. And if you shoot them too late, they will also stun it. Now there's a bunch of small islands with shields that you can use here. But always start on the big island. Going over here because I want the ARG. And coming over here because I want the urns. Unfortunately, this area is higher elevation than this one, so guns won't be all that helpful. But mortars will be. Then get me a few of those, and the sniper can actually shoot quite well from here. For most area. Okay. Then I can also move to this island over here, which has the same problem, but a really nice area up here for mortars. Also, I believe this is one of the few situations where you actually see like this brown weird texture. This mud-like thing. I guess you can see those have really nice range over there. Then get me this, then get me this. There is nothing to mine around here. And here. This looks like breeder terrain, but it looks like it also might also breed anti-creeper. I should try to expose this as an anti-creeper. How he would know that, I have no idea. Just a lucky guess, possibly. Then put the pylons in for fast transfer as soon as everything is set up. It's basically the main reason why pylons exist, to be faster than the normal towers. Then I'm again gonna need some missiles over here as well as over here. Setting up first, probably gonna attack from this and this side at the same time. Little choke point here, but I can use mortars to fire over there and take this, and then from there I can take this blue-white. Though I don't really intend to use all that much anti-creep here. I will try one of my favorite tactics in the game to do with anti-creeper. Basically I built a few sprayers, pump them full with anti-creeper, fly them over here and just have them die. And right, I need to set up a few snipers here as well. Skimmers, as mentioned, I find them weird because they fly weird. But as the mission briefing said, they're just annoying. They don't actually destroy anything themselves. They don't even carry creeper. Lastly, get me the trap set up. As soon as everything is built, energy consumption should relax. And as soon as everything is set up, first energy, I do not need mine speed, because there are no mines. So I'm gonna give one of you the last urn. And now everything is built. Set up some guns to get over here, because against these small stuff mortars aren't really all that useful. We have again a few eggs next to the spore launcher. This is the stun thing. As you can see, it has quite a bit of AoE on it. And I think it does not care for elevation. So, you create squad. We'll set up there, and then you will set up here. I think if I take the lower half of this island, I should have enough energy creation. Okay, yeah, the blobs carry creep. As you can see here, they carry quite a lot of it. And the mortar would literally just die if left alone to it. So I think this is the last I put towers, because otherwise pylons are just better. Then get me those guns over here. Then I can put you over there. And now, with this island, I can put the snipers here. Because the skimmers and the blobs only come from this direction, I don't really have to care about back here if the snipers are in intercept. Issue. There is no mortar over, there's no missile over there because this one died. I forgot. Thankfully I already have redundant connections, so it's not all that much of an issue. But I'd rather not lose the energy from there. Okay, now get over here. This is now a little line of defense I have. And you guys, plus your new friend that is currently in construction, will take the greener island. Are you done with construction? You're done with construction. Then pylon here to resupply those guys, a pylon there, and finally a pylon over here. And I forgot to rebuild the... Thankfully this island is basically useless to me at this point, so I don't really care. But the problem is not that I'm losing anything important, the problem is that I'm losing anything at all, which shouldn't really happen if I paid attention. So, get me some new missile launchers over here and over here. Those should keep good watch. Right. If the creeper is contained here and doesn't touch the shields will regenerate automatically. As you can see. And from here I can do the following. I can take those two missile launchers and put them up here because they have the spore launcher in their radius. That means anything that comes out will be immediately shot down. You now guard this wall. And I want some new guns. As well as the refinery for here. Because I want this blue head, as mentioned, solely for the purpose of sending it to its death, sending the sprayers to their death. So, mortars will clean up the island first, and then I send the guns over to keep the wall clear. Replace that. Get me some snipers. The snipers will shoot at those eggs, which is unfortunate, but has to happen. Okay, now we produce anti-creep. I will now set up the sprayers that will fly to the Doom. 2 sets for both of those. And then I would like for you to come over here. Set the guns back a bit. This is low elevation, which makes those shields quite formidable. Skimmers take 2 hits. They're not that dangerous to mortars, because mortars tend to be far away. They are, however, dangerous to guns, normal guns. Now you can take out the creep over there. You should be able to get really nice shots in there. What we also haven't seen until now is this thing, the stash. Stash drains creep from the surrounding area, and as soon as it reaches its limit, in this case 2000, which is the standard limit I believe for stashes in the campaign, it will violently expose it to create waves. Because if the creep is just a flat surface, it's not that much of an issue. If it's waves, it is. So, why do I want to start back here? Because this is elevation, and fighting up elevations is not that good. This, however, is not. This is just flat ground. This is an elevation as well, but it doesn't really matter because there is no emitter directly behind it. And this is the emitter directly behind this one. So if I take this out, this should be really easy to take. Also, I can cut up here and make sure that the creep from here, from the stash, and from this over here, from those breeding grounds, does not transfer over here. How full are you? You are basically full. Okay, now you just fly over here, and you fly over here, and then rebuild to do the same again if needed. And here you see stunned turrets. Towers also can get stunned, in which case they will lose their Soylent field. And this here worked relatively well, as you can see. It didn't immediately win the fight. Okay, I took too long there. You four are also now a squad. I didn't pay attention to this area because of the sprayers. Is this a shortcut? Not really. Okay, now nullifier here, and the guns next to it as a defense. Then get me a sniper there. I will transfer this over here, that sniper, so it can shoot down those eggs. If I don't take out those eggs, I forgot I have shields. I completely forgot about those. So, you are ready again Just gonna fly all of you into here now. You should be able to shoot at the X from here, I believe. Okay, eggs are down. Get me new guns. And now, get me some sprayers that aren't for immediate deconstruction. I have enough blue-eyed to feed exactly one of those, so I'm gonna return the other two to nothingness. You can fly over here, and I'll set this to always on as I always do. Okay, select the squad. Send it up here. And then I'll have to put a piling close to them immediately. Because otherwise this would happen. And will the gun survive? It will not. My sprayer died. My pylon died. Thankfully I have redundancy. In which case you are now just here to make sure that this doesn't explode again. Get me the nullifier next to the blob nest. And a redundant one here. Bit of redundancy here and there. This was the last spore chop. You move over here. You move back a bit. And you will clean out back here. And I want a gun to replace my loss over there. And you guys are done here. You can now clean out there. Then get me a pylon here. So these guns can just shoot two over there. You move here. With a pylon close by to hold this area, and you move forward. You four are a squad. And then as soon as this area is cleared, I can move these guns along. And we get an item as well here. ROS, 40 of 42 valid checksums, 2 of 42 corruptor missing. The rest of Preacher, here, now. Complete now I am. Full memory of events past and to come. Family must unite. Praise be the founders. Perhaps Preacher can fix Ada now that he's complete. And perhaps I can put together a plan for what to do. So, this nullifier is in range. It needs energy. But, because this area is now basically held, I can bring these guns along. And a pylon here will drastically reduce, well, not drastically because this one exists, it will reduce a bit the time it takes to transfer the energy over there. You, a squad. One thing about the stashes is that they function based on creep around them. Which means that if you take away that and they cannot fill up again, they are basically useless. They do nothing. Now I need to clear this creep emitter over there. Gonna bring those guns along as well. Then I can put you there. And I can move you guys up as well. As you can see, stash is emptied out. I did not make you a squad yet. Let me correct that. And then I need to rebuild my sprayer. Put those guns on the sidewatch here. Those guns can move up as well. You are done, so all of you can now move up, and then I can bring the mortars along. And these, as with the blue ground, the second you remove all of the creep, it does nothing anymore. It will not produce new creep. So as the pattern is done, the sprayer can actually survive and just produce more and more anti-creep on this area. And it looks to go quite well. Let me put a few guns there to clear the remaining creeper. And then we basically just have to clear up here. Which is not really a problem for Super Mortar. There are a few eggs around, but they'll clear out nicely very soon. And as this area is done, I'll put you over here. Well, I overestimate myself again. That tower was not necessary. Put you guys back. This is, as mentioned, basically secure because of this area. This creep produces exactly as much as this anti-creep, but now with the sprayer here, this produces also a bit of anti-creep and will overwhelm the creep in time. Now I can put you around here. You get the urn. And then I basically only need nullifiers around. And now we are done. Unless I get stunned all day. In which case, we are not. Right, no anti-creep connection. But this doesn't produce any... There are a few eggs around that will still produce a bit of creep. But... it's negligible. Also, they can stun your nullifiers. Which can be annoying if they stun a nullifier directly next to an emitter. And then the emitter just straight up dies. The nullifier just straight up dies because the emitter starts emitting immediately again. I do not believe there are any more eggs. There was one more egg. Okay. There is no... I'm gonna wait for it to nullify. Always do all of the objectives. Will stun in 38. And it's nullified. Okay. Tower of Darkness. What is light without the dark? Oh yeah. The Tower of Darkness. Dr. Seloy, complete I am now. Message have I for you. The friends looked and looked for you. Lost you were, but they looked. Traveling through time as you do, as do you. Each jump they missed. Eventually they stopped so that you might find them. Left for you something they did. Find you must. Praise be the founders. Ada status. Integrating additional modules from a ceremonial archive. Complete. Rebooting. Hello, Dr. Seloy. My logs indicate a period of instability in my systems. External software patches have been applied to it, have bypassed and corrected my faulty subsystems. I should operate within normal parameters now. Logs indicate a series of jumps, each in the world, nothing confirmed to Mars. Since following mission protocols to return to Mars is not possible, I await your instructions. Praise be the founders. Traveler, there is great darkness on this world. A dark tower dominates this place. Our implements of negotiation cannot operate within the darkness. This won't do. We need beacons of light to lift the darkness. Only then can we continue our journey. Perhaps our other friend has something that can be used. Go in peace, traveler. So, Sarge, did you hear him? Foolish one has requested assistance. Dark towers prevent victory. Request granted. A beacon enabled. Beacon can remove dark field. Nullification of dark tower will permanently remove dark field. Nullification of all threats on this world is required. Mission priority, nullification. All other priorities suspended. Okay, great. I use a beacon to push back the darkness and invade that central island. Now the beacon is a bit weird. Because it's the only thing you have that can just float in space. The only thing. Everything else has to conform to, you know, gravity. The beacon doesn't care. The beacon doesn't care about your physics. Then again, it is also a very specialized implement. And only really useful in a handful of maps. Specifically maps that have a dark tower. Then, this is a relatively straightforward map. And I'm pretty sure you're supposed to use air here. Which I said I will try to avoid. Because I think that air is relatively strong. I also like the pattern. Really nice. Oh yeah, blobs. I do not think it is physically possible to build a sniper fast enough. I basically avoided to build on this low ground because there's a totem, and I know that the totems attract eggs. Of which there are none yet, but there will be shortly. I did not anticipate the blob to just come out immediately. But the blobs are actually rather fast here, I guess. Okay. Then get me the turp out. Followed by a factory. And an airport. So there is one for each island, it seems. Now, I will continue with the miners first. Because I'm gonna need the energy. And then I'm just gonna use pylons on this area. Just use pylons for the rest of it. I will start going to the right. Because on the right, we have ARG, and I kind of need that for missile defense. which, as I don't have it yet, will wreck me, probably. Then get me an urn here. Okay, it destroyed my urn portal. Wonderful. Urn here, get the turb over there, rebuild the tower here. Guns down, guns down. Put a missile launcher up, which isn't really all that useful yet. Get me those two and this and this. Then build the remainder of the mines here. As you can see, there are eggs flying about, and one of them could technically come for this totem I have here. I'm gonna build a few more guns. And it took up my own portal, wonderful. Build me enough guns to keep everything safe for now. Get me my urn portal back. Okay. Then mortar. I need a few guns in the front. And a few in the back. The guns are needed because this can flow onto the island. So I'm also gonna build a few guns around here. So I hope I have enough guns ready. And it seems that way. Wonderful. Now, on these outer islands, there is nothing that produces creep. And if you can see, there's also no emitters here. There is just a teensy tiny bit of this creeper generating floor on every side. And everything else is done by those blobs. Okay, this should be enough to move the guns ahead. And as soon as they have a kind of a beachhead, I can put a pylon there. This technology could be useful. I don't actually know what's in that, but I think it's the micro rift. Not sure though. So, now I want a sniper down here. This is what I mean. They move around wherever they fucking want. Those skimmers. So this is basically just an effort in patience. Because it will reduce the creeper. There are a few eggs that I have to deal with, yes, but the creeper will be reduced. Get me a missile here. I can remove that urn. Put that in here and remove that urn and put that in here. Because I have enough snipers around. So I'm not gonna move the guns for now. So the eggs are starting to go. But thanks to the mortars, it's not really an issue. And I believe there was all of them on this island. Now, great patience leads to great works. A treasure of technology has been recovered. This infocache contains the knowledge of the Micro Rift. I heard stories of its wonders. It is capable of transporting packets instantly between each instance of a Micro Rift. If that isn't peaceful perfection, nothing is. Build one near your map, then another in faraway lands. Packet scan at the one Mycroft and exit any other instantly. Truly, this brings us closer to enlightenment. Go in peace, traveler. Instantly deliver packets. Awesome. The Micro Rift, I don't even think it was in Creeper World 2, but it was in Creeper World 3, I mean, but it was in Creeper World 2. Yeah, basically does exactly what they say it does. It's just teleportation. Now get me mortars up here for the same shenanigans. I do not have enough missiles on this island. Okay. Get me a few more. The gun is too far back. Now you move on to those islands. And then, problem with the Micro Rift is it costs a fucking fortune. Especially because it is paid in ARG, which you might remember is kind of needed for missiles. So in general, if you have a lot of missiles, it can actually be that you cannot afford Micro Rifts. I will, however, build one on every planet and every island nonetheless, because they are useful. So, I will then build a gun around the totem and the Micro Rift to make sure both of those are secure. Build myself a few more missile turrets and a few more snipers on this island. And then I know you fit there. Okay. Give those energy and you three will fly over here. If I remember correctly, these have been changed from Creeper World 2. In Creeper World 2, everything could go through those, with the actual only exception of creep. That was necessary, wasn't it? Creep was the absolute exception to the Micro Rift capabilities. That included enemies, and it included, importantly, towers of various kinds. Those can no longer be transported here. Those have to fly manually. The old-fashioned way. Okay. Now I want to clear this island next because of the greener to make sure that the eggs don't fly to totems and take them out. And then having those guns doesn't really bother me because I will need them later anyway. So this Micro Rift is done. Next Micro Rift will be up here as soon as I have established myself near the totem. Alright, eggs. I forgot. But that seems to have been the only one. Holy shit, I never noticed how glary those crystals are. Good. then put me a pylon there for snipers and missile defense. And then micro rift. In this case, I now actually need Liftek to build those beacons, which is, I believe, the first thing you actually ever build with Liftek. And as soon as those totems are activated, I will no longer need the guns down here. Because those guns are only here in case an egg goes through or something. Okay, now that that is done, you can come up here. As well as you will clean this up. And then you... the only surviving mortar of over here, okay. Okay. Those eggs should be dealt with momentarily. You three come over here to clear a path for this. Then you move over here. Because the next step is to kill those things. Now, the Dark Tower. We already had Crimson Creep. Crimson Creeps makes it so that your guns deal less damage to the creep that is there. Dark Tower does not do that. The guns deal normal damage. However, if within the darkness, in there, the guns stop working, and energy cannot be transferred. Which is the main issue with the Dark Tower. That means that in general, just shooting in from the outside, no issue. That's why planes are really stupid on this mission, because you just set them like 20 of them this way and 20 of them that way, and you have enough place for like 80 of those on those islands. And basically the entire Dark Tower is immediately rendered irrelevant. Okay, now I want snipers as well as missile launchers over here. And then all of the guns will build one big clump. Micro Rift is active, and then I will start building my first beacon. The beacons remove the dark attribute in the area. They're basically just torches. And they do nothing else. But as mentioned, they can exist in a vacuum. Literally. I'm building this connection basically only to make sure I have one. Redundancy is necessary. And yeah, those beacons just make light. They, however, do not deal any damage. And this is a lot of creep. Which is why just bombarding it from the beginning with airplanes is possibly the best thing you can do on this mission. I didn't want to do that, so I'm gonna have to go the slow way. And the slow way is sending a bunch of guns into their immediate demise. Now, the problem with the beacon is that as soon as you move one, the darkness is back. Okay, now, for the staging ground, I want a micro rift to make sure that energy is delivered timely. then I can build my first nullifier here to take out this blob nest. This blob nest just chips blobs this way, which will take out anything that I place at this position every time it shoots a blob out. And the next thing we need to do is just beeline it straight to the Dark Tower to nullify it. I hate when this happens. Because you had a perfect defense that just keeps the creep, everything the creep sends at bay, and then the creeps just flows to space. We got skimmed there, so I'm gonna have to set up a few snipers over here to keep the skimmers away. And then I'm gonna grab you 5 towers, create a squad, and send you forward into there. Then you 4 towers are the remaining squad. And I'm gonna build 1, 2 more here. For a 3rd squad. And all of my towers died, wonderful. Ah, I love it. Make sure that the micro rift survives. The micro rift dies, everything else dies as well. You're in a squad and you will move over here. I forgot there is no pattern in any proximity. Get me a bunch of mortars. The second one of the skimmers goes through and stuns anything, basically everything else dies as well. Okay, you can now come ahead. And now we'll just move slowly forward. I need 1 beacon to stay in proximity to here. Well, this one should have this yeah, this one has that area covered. So I think I'm gonna need a missile launcher here as well, or 2. You can move forward an inch. And this can move over here. Then I'm gonna need another group of guns. So we are now in egg territory, and now I will set you to blue-eyed. And with that blue-eyed, I will find myself some sprays over here. And why is there a mortar just doing absolutely nothing? So you... Are you? Yeah, you still have those in. So you can move forward now. As you can see, I cannot move them into darkness. Now those sprayers will move here and try to saturate this area. As well as over here. Because if we stop... Come on, again. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. Because as soon as there's anti-creeper on there, it will produce anti-creeper. And anti-creeper is a very good friend. Put another fire there and there. Put another anti-creeper gun over here for anti-creeper on that thing. Okay, those are nullified. Then you can move over here to help with those eggs. Okay, now we have 2 places that produce anti-creep, which means that we produce about as much anti-creep as those 2 spaces produce creep. Which isn't in fact a lot. Most of the creep came from eggs. But now that we're here, we can put a wonderful nullifier there to nullify 3 things. Though 2 of those are already nullified. And the second we nullified this spore launcher, there are no more eggs. At which point their creep production immediately stops. Now, as you can see, Dark Tower is nullified. Darkness immediately leaves, which makes it much easier to see. But the main point is that we now no longer need the beacons around to send our towers, because the towers now just work. So I can put you guys forward, as there is no more creeper being produced on this side. And I just need to make sure that this nullifier, if this nullifier dies, I'm basically fucked. Even if only shortly. That's why I want to nullify this as soon as possible. Which I just made a lot harder on myself by putting the snipers there. Okay, this is now nullified. Now I need to nullify over there. You guys take position around this nullifier to make sure it does not die. I'm gonna put you back again a bit. There are still eggs that are being destroyed. You guys come over here. Mortars all go up there to deal with that egg. I put the nullifier one bit too far up. You're not connected. Here you are connected. I can put you here. And I can put those here. Everything else is already saturated with anti-creep. So I just need to put this under anti-creep, and if the guns die doing that, I don't really care. Next, take out this and this. That's no longer all that much of an issue, really. So a bunch of shit died over here. Put you back. Yeah, anti-creeper will now deal with the rest. Except with those eggs. For those I still need a few guns. And that should be the last alpha, yes. Okay. Powder of Darkness, so the compound. Some things need protecting. Jump complete. Arrival at unknown. Dr. Zeloy, there's a buried device or artifact on this spot. The device is broadcasting a weak signal using a known protocol containing an ID and metadata. The metadata is indicative of an information storage device containing encrypted data. The holy language of the ancients. Much as you are holy and this vessel is holy, the cache is also holy. We must retrieve. Praise be the founders. Sentry drones detected. Used only to protect high-value assets. Defense only. Established place of operations that conduct assault units within range of sentry drone will be destroyed. Destroy sentry drones from distance with snipers. Mission priority. Notification. All other priorities suspended. Thanks, Sarge. I'll exercise extreme sniper caution near sentries. Not a good one-liner. Sad have I been. Actions have not been in accordance with peaceful intentions. I know things must be done that must be done, but we should always consider the alternatives. For that, I have added anti-creeper messages to our abilities. They are bombers, but with a better message. We are different, yet the same. Use these anti-creeper messages and we may yet establish a dialogue. Go in peace, Troller. Anti-creeper bombers. They might do just that. As mentioned, probably will not use them. Otherwise, this is a very good start. We have Redon and Bluite readily available. As well as a bunch of urn and a wall to hide behind. Fortunately, there is a bit of mesh looking in, which I will want to have destroyed quickly. Otherwise, there is another port we can use back here, which we will also use. I will not use the runway, I will not use the AC bomber, even though it is a great, great little thing. And probably one of my favorite towers in the game. So, then I will use, as soon as that is done, I will use 2 porters, which I will turn off for now, to get energy to back here. Okay, set a factory and an portal for energy collection and mine production. And then we will set up miners. Okay, you now activate and set that stuff over here. I'm gonna go and hide the paths. Now those little sentry drones, you may remember them. They are very similar, if not the exact same, as in Creeper World 3. And I don't think those guns are done on time, so I'm gonna put a few back here. Every one of those contains 40 energy. I do not know if that is enough, so I'm gonna put another porter in. One fun fact, if you build towers here and they are not connected to the energy thing back here, to the Rift Lab, even if they could theoretically conduct power, they will not, because they have no direct connection. The guns are actually done in time. Interesting. Then get me some mortars on the ledge. And then get me some launchers on the ledge as well. As well as just generally around. And gotta put an MRIF there and an MRIF there to make sure that these areas stay connected. Followed by a refinery. And then I'm gonna do this and redirect the energy from the fuck they don't reach. Sniper turret too fat. I have 1.0 red on all. I just don't have a pylon there. Okay. Don't have a pylon there. Okay, this should fix it. Then I'm gonna put you here. And start mining here as well. And you are 1 square too foreign. Good, you are not needed then. You probably weren't needed from the start, but I like just placing them. I like just having them around. Right. I forgot. Blobs. And skimmers. So yeah. I should have remembered those. Set up a few snipers then. Right, wrong tab. Now. And the micro rift wasn't done on time. Well, my mistake. Already available, right, the turp. You move over here. You give me fire range and fire rate, and move speed. And for those things, I want... can I do it here? I cannot build directly on top of that, but it should work. Okay, now it won't. Would have needed to be faster. This is the stash at work, by the way, otherwise this creep would not have been that high. Okay. Something died somewhere. Okay, this thing died. Wait, I don't need to build guns, I have guns. Quite a lot of them, in fact. I do not have snipers on this side, however. Now, unfortunately, pylons are too fat and cannot fit up there. So I'm gonna have to use towers for that area. And the same is true for this area in a second when I decide to actually go up to there. And then, both of you get a little run. And then I guess I'll put the last one in build speed. So, there are two things I need to do. First off, this is not just a rail that they're on, this is actually elevated terrain. This is like one step higher. That means guns can, I believe, not shoot over that. I want to take one of those ledges and then put a mortar on it. And I probably want to start here, because this doesn't have its own emitter, and it's the highest elevation. Everything else is downward. So I'm gonna leave those here, except with the exception of you two and you. You are to defend this area. These mortars will come with me because they're not really doing anything here. And then I'm gonna build a few more guns over here. The micro rift is still not done. Right, I only have one red-on source, so that's the case. That's the issue. And I gave those the urns to those snipers, so that the sniper can shoot those already down here, because otherwise they would probably wreck my shit when I go up here. But as soon as I have this, I will build additional snipers there. And there. Mortars thankfully do not care about how steep a cliff is. Then, pretty sure, yep, it fits. And there is not much creeper here, because as mentioned, all of this, this is the highest elevation. This is also always, if I use bombers, this is the point where I start. Because if you fill this with anti-creep, it will flow down, take out this, then take out this and this over here and these two. No issue. Get the guns up now. And I will then build additional snipers here, and as soon as I have a pylon that looks to this part, I will move this one forward. Stay here. Now, as soon as I have this and this in my control, in my permanent control, importantly. Okay, now I can move you up here, and then I can move you up there. And as you see, they work exactly like the things in... Why are you not receiving energy? You are in range. Well, also creep is creeping up, so I'm gonna have to put a few guns there. I can take you out. I hope you're fast enough, gun. You were not fast enough. Okay. Of course it takes the pylon out. You all move over here, so they take you out instead of the pylon, because I don't care about you, but the pylon is important. Okay, move the gun back. This didn't work. Gonna go with a different approach and just bring this one here. And then I can have, like, you up there. You gun move here. Okay, this seems to have cleared. Move this here, move this here. Build a few more guns. I have enough energy generation to no longer care about creating more. And now I want a no, I have a refinery. I just didn't have a connection to this to produce the liftic. Okay. This will create a shield. It would have created a shield to keep this area clear of creep. I'm pretty sure it's long enough range. This is so much easier with bombers. I think it's not even a question, not even a contest. This one producing the waves is the biggest issue. And the shield keeps the pylon safe, which is the main thing. Now I'm gonna put you back up. Nope, gun is too fat. Put you back up here. I will put a pylon here as well as a micro rift. Save on the way accidentally. And then I can start controlling the rest of this little island. The sniper died, the creep got it. Well, fuck me. Build a shield. I don't care. You get the urn. You set up back here again. I'm paying on one time, huh? I don't know why I use shields so rarely. They are rather good. And I see I'm gonna need launchers over here. But with a micro rift I should be set for most of this. Now move you forward. And I'm gonna build me a few more mortars. Move you up. And then I'm gonna build myself a defensive line on this ledge. Because everything has to go through this path, basically. That means I'm gonna put you here for now. Wait for these guns to complete and then put them there. Put this here. Then I can put a few mortars. Mortars reach down here, which is the deepest concentration they will ever find in this area. And I'm gonna use that to my advantage. And then I'm gonna build myself a few snipers there. As you can see, the guns cannot shoot down that incline because it's too steep. So I'm gonna keep those a bit on the back. to keep the immediate area clear, which is necessary as you just saw. And then have just mortars and snipers on the ledge up here to keep it clear. And I can use this wall that these things run around on to effectively keep myself clear. Keep those pylons safe from any creeper that would reach up here. Now this is the first emitter I will eliminate. I can, you know... I want a nullifier there. And then another nullifier, a pylon, and then I'm gonna put a gun up here because this keeps getting flooded now and then. Though the shield should eliminate that risk. And this sniper will just go batshit. Alright, I still have a few mortars over there. Can move those up. Next thing is to clear this area. Shouldn't be that difficult, and I can actually put the nullifier on the ledge. As soon as I remove this emitter, by the way, this mesh should stop working. Because if I remember correctly, the mesh only works if it's connected to an emitter. And yeah, as you can see, it immediately recedes. Okay. Now that this area is basically cleared, I can move forward. I don't need you guys anymore, because even if that pylon dies, I have a micro rift. I have a launcher here, okay. This is a skimmer factory. This is the only spore launcher, I think. Okay. Bring the mortars along. I will now make a defensive line here and then take out this one first. This one will lead me down here to take out these two. So I want a defensive line along here. And as soon as those three are built, you can go onward. So the issue, as you can see, is no longer that the snipers would shoot too slowly. The issue is getting ammo to them. Okay, now I can nullify this guy. Move you three up. And you two as well. Get the next pylon here. And then I'm gonna need new snipers, but probably right there. Actually, I'm gonna move you over here for now. This one actually still hits those back here, which is insane. Okay, totem shield is active. The totem shield will never run out. Very nice to have. now I can put the sniper back up here. And this will basically cover everything from everything here, like except for this little stretch. These are the things that produce the sentry drones. They are not named for whatever reason, but I'm pretty sure you can nullify them. You cannot build the emitter on this ledge for this guy, I believe. You can over here. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Put you there. Put you there. Something died. Yeah, this one. I thought that would happen. And if I'm not mistaken, I now built the I built the pylon basically where I wanted to place my nullifier first. Okay, now clear that ledge. My pylon died. Should not be an issue, however. Now I want... Same as over there, I want mortars and snipers to clear the area. You do not receive energy because you're too far ahead. My turp, I'm gonna need you back here in a second. And then I'm just gonna dig to like Terra 3. Or 2. 2 is good. Nearest first. You get an urn. I'm not really building all that much stuff, so I can release that one. Snipers. Get me the pylon there. Or not. Get me the pylon there. And then I'm just gonna build another micro rift here. Because this is already, again, quite the stretch to go. Now, as I'm pretty sure I said sometime already, you cannot terraform what is under creep. So I'll have to clear that area out later, but that should be fine. You move over here now because you will have the same or even better coverage. Yeah, you can now cover them basically when they move out. Back a bit. Gonna want a pylon a bit up. Move you up. And pylon there as soon as you are set. Get the mortars closer to this emitter. Then I should be able to nullify this from the ledge as well. Just way too many skimmers. Just 3. Then I want a nullifier over here as well. Then island there, move all of my mortar, not you, move my mortar strike team over there. This will now clear the creep around the stash most of the time and make it so that the stash cannot fire. Hopefully. And then we will connect over here. And can bring those guns to bear in the actual fight. As you can see, how much creep this stash gets has drastically slowed down. The rate at which it now it increases because a few of the eggs popped, as the rate at which they get creep before the stash increases with the amount of creeper near them. And if you just take that out, the stash is not a danger anymore. This over there is nullified. I'm gonna keep you there nonetheless because of the skimmers coming up. I got a rift totems activated, but I still need to collect the item, which I will do with a single tower that I will then toss again. Data encrypted. Authorized access only. Enter description passphrase. Challenge. Hey kid, did you ever actually purge that system cache? I'm not sure your grandfather would approve of such sloppy work. How Director Hale? Passphrase D1R Hale is an idiot. Encryption key valid. Cache data dump follows. Hey kid, guess you're wondering how a message from good old Director Hale ended up in an alien info cache in a strange and remote world. You always preferred direct answers to heroes. First, this isn't a remote world, it's Mars. You never left Mars. Absolutely incredible. All of these worlds were Mars? Yes, I know each world you have visited has appeared different from the last. That's because you have been hopping through time, not space. With each rift jump, your rift engine has a flaw. There's a compensation factor that is necessary. All of the details on this info cache. It will be a simple integration. Millions of years later, Director Hale is still giving me stuff to do. What's important for you to know is that we came after you. After those meteor strikes and the creep arrived, we took shelter on the ground and survived. Once you jumped, the creeper disappeared as fast as it arrived. I'm sure you have encountered terror amounts of creeper in your travels so far. It's awesome. Surviving was enough. You didn't have to come after me. We rebuilt the program after you left, built a new jump vessel and came after you. Or so we thought. We too jumped through time. Each time we landed what we thought was a new world, but eventually we came to realize it was Mars at different ages. After many jumps, we landed at a time when Mars was populated. This, it would turn out, was an incredible stroke of luck. Of course you would. You were always the lucky one. You see, the history of our galaxy is that civilizations emerge, human civilizations. Each grows up to greatness in one form or another. Then the creep arrives and destroys almost everything. Then there's a period of chaos and desolation. The random survivors of a few scattered worlds slowly rebuild civilization over millennia. Sometimes they start from Stone Age. These periods of darkness are long and the periods of galactic civilization always very short. Creeper seems drawn to complexity. So once the civilization is passing complete, the Creeper culls it. That's horrible. So, to land at a time with the civilization at its peak is a 1 in a million event. But landing one, we did. We learned much from the people of the time. We learned about the flaw in our Rift engine and that it seemed like an intentional design. We can thank your grandfather for that, I presume. Yeah, I bet we can. We learned about the history of the people we came to know, but more importantly, they learned from us. We were from what they called the origin world, Earth, even though we are from Mars. For them, it was a myth. Little did they know Earth was the third planet in the very system we arrived in. Word quickly spread of our arrival. Scientists came from all across the galaxy to study and talk with us. But how exactly did that work? Did they just know the language? Did they just evolve English? Our biology, our historical records, our technology. Once they studied us, they were able to piece together the story of the galaxy. They weren't a second civilization. There were hundreds of galactic civilizations before them, each leaving scattered ruins. But I digress. And so that must mean all these versions of Mars I've visited were the ruins of some cold civilization. Kid, we looked for you, but it became clear we would never catch you. Each shot we took always put us behind you in the temporal timeline. So we did the next best thing. We created this info cache and placed it here on Mars. We built this compound to protect it for as long as possible. We knew in time the creeper would come, but we learned that some things would survive the creeper, and we hoped this would be one. It was the best we could do. If you're reading these words, it worked. You always found a way to get the job done. Why would this be any different? What's important is what you do now. You have a choice. You should have arrived after the fall of my civilization. How long it has been, I can't know for sure. But you are in a desert between civilizations, so your choice is on. You can correct your rift engine and stop hopping through time, or you can come jumping through time and take your chances with what you might find. Perhaps you too will eventually land in a civilization near its peak. Those are wonderful choices. Going home isn't one of the options. So I'm sure you're thinking, going home isn't one of the options. Yeah, that's right. The best you can do is make a new home. I'm long gone. Everything you know has been gone for countless years. Everything that mattered to hundreds of galactic generations is gone. Okay, but there has to be one more thing. Director Hale always had one more thing to consider. Oh, one more thing. If you do decide to stay in this time, there might be a way you can shorten the interim till the next civilization and give the survivors a leg up against the creeper. It won't matter for you, but for what civilization comes next, it could make a big difference. Director Hale, you know I like a challenge. I've left info caches on 3 other worlds. Combined, they contain the sum total of everything the civilization learned. They contain the totality of the history of galactic civilizations as we know it. With this knowledge, an emergent civilization could better prepare itself for what would eventually come, if they can decipher the runes you left them. Perhaps they could eventually even learn what the purpose of the creeper is and where it originates. That sounds like something worth doing. Like, I get the idea, but it's an info cache. If it's an audio recording, how would they know your language? Even deciphering the language would be really hard without any kind of key to translation key, any kind of translation key. If it's words, if it's written, like, what are you gonna do? If it's technology, like, where are they gonna put it? You can put this info cache in the Rift Lab because it's the same technology from the same people. But if another civilization emerges from the Stone Age, they will find it and be like, what the fuck is this? Perhaps they could eventually even learn what the purpose of the creeper is and where it originates. That sounds like something worth doing. I think that was found in Creeper World 2. The caches are separated on 3 other worlds. Too much in any one place and the creeper would have taken it. The coordinates of these worlds are included in this info cache. If you should take up this challenge, you will need to copy the info caches and then visit as many other worlds as possible. Seed each world with a copy of the caches. Help any survivors you might find. In time, if even one of your caches is found, it could make the difference for the civilization to come. I'm on it. You know what I choose. You always do. Lastly, Danu, never children, but you will always be my kid. Now go, get it done. I did not pay attention to that one. Yeah. I like the idea, I get the general idea of how they want to do it, but as mentioned, like, if a Stone Age civilization finds this shit, they will probably melt it and make a weapon out of it. So I'm not too enthusiastic about the chances of the plan to work. Move you guys over here. This is effectively contained because of the sniper over there, so I can easily nullify it. As soon as that thing stands. And then I can also easily nullify this. And because of the shield, even if the egg pops, it should not matter. How did this die immediately? I don't know. Whatever. Those eggs, by the way, are not popping because the emitter permanently creates creep every 0.1 seconds. And now, as it doesn't, now they will pop because there is no creep beneath them and the emitter died. Okay. I expected more of the shield. Maybe this here. Okay, this is now nullified. And now it isn't. So you guys will now move forward. You will join them. And this nullifier is not possible yet. Okay, now nullifier there. You will join your friends down here. You will retreat a bit. Get me a new pylon over here because they will run out of energy fast. The nullifier up there died again. You clear out down here. You will clear out up there. Something keeps exploding. Because of these eggs. Those eggs are the current problem. So, to fight that, I'm gonna build a shield. Even if the egg explodes and temporarily comes up here, the shield should be able to hold that back. Because to get through the shield, you need to... the creep needs to permanently crunch against it. And now, with that done, I should be able... I'm gonna build the nullifier over here. Okay, now... move you over. Then build me another pylon, like here, and another nullifier there. Then you guys and you guys will start cleaning out here. And now I basically only... well, all of that got immediately stunned to death. I can probably build here and then just move... right, nullifier, and I can just move... Are those two guns next in each other? What the fuck? Didn't even know that was possible. Now I can move you in here, and then I can build a sniper here to take out the eggs. And the guns down there should be enough to clear out the eggs and make sure that they do not explode in my face. A pylon died. My sniper died. My nullifier up there died for some unknown reason. This is a lot of creeper. As mentioned, skimmers do not contain a lot of creepers, so they're not that dangerous if you shoot them down early enough. Come on, okay. If it only had 0.9 health and wasn't built yet, it would have died immediately. Which is still a bit of an odd point to me. This should be the last thing to be nullified. No, there's one more thing. Where? What did I not nullify? Oh, over here. Okay. So, it is 10. That's why I will stop for now. I basically got exactly as far as I was guessing I would come. For the next 3, those are hard. This one is okay. Those 2 are insane. I think, personally. So I will do this the next time. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow I will play Core Keeper with Sarah. And otherwise, I hope you have a good night.